For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, yeah. For the record, for the record, for the record, for the record, for the record. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. Frozen. H6 all the hate. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ballin' age. I'm flipping the bars, I'm flipping the on record, off record. I still count wins when they doubt it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record. I still want the act, not the ghost. Running through it with the young influence. Adolescent presence, I'm succumbing to it. I've been giving yeses when I shouldn't do it. I complete ejected, but the moves elusive and I'm barely moving. But I'm still gon' boost them. I can't work on winnings when I know you're losing. So I work the winnings and they throw the deuces. Guess I have to pivot, shooting the bazookas for the facts. I need racks, paper cash.
So we just got done at the gym not too long ago, so we're gonna go ahead and run into Whole Foods right quick. Just pick up a few things before dinner. I think, oh, I know, I'm eating pizza. Are you eating pizza?
No.
No, you don't have the macros for pizza?
I don't have the macros for pizza. I really want to get some of my favorite vegan sausages in there and make something with that because they still need a lot of protein. You need to get some donuts, right?
Yeah, donuts. Actually, I'm gonna put chicken on this pizza. I need a lot of protein today.
You need some more chicken, right?
Yeah, I haven't eaten nearly enough protein, so definitely need to get some chicken. Once we go to Whole Foods, we're actually gonna go ahead, we're gonna head back home. And we wanted to talk to you guys about what the topic of this video is, what we actually do while we're in the gym, and then we're gonna dive in deep and talk about exactly why we do what we do. Make sure you guys are staying tuned. It's gonna be really interesting. Probably a little bit different than what some of you guys would think if you know, aren't, I don't know, a bodybuilder? No,
Not even a bodybuilder. If you have never maybe made a workout for yourself,
yes.
or paid attention to why the workout is the way it is.
Yeah.
If you're a person that just kind of is like a chug and plug, this might be a little helpful insight for you.
Yeah. I definitely think it'll also help people who are kind of afraid to step in the gym.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Like, if you just like, when you get in the gym, if you're like, man, I just have no clue what to do, and you're like, everybody else, it just seems like they know what they're doing, and it's so intimidating. We've been to plenty of gyms like that, but you guys have probably seen it too. You'll go to a gym and you feel like everybody in this place is trying to become an Instagram model, and you know, again, congrats to them for, you know, at least stepping into the gym and at least trying and pushing. A lot of times the person that knows what they're doing in the gym might not always look like that of what you might think from the outset. You know, people are always trying to achieve their goals, and no matter what state they might be in, if that person is pushing themselves, then this could be them making that transformation or on that path to that transformation. So I just always think it's interesting to see the differences in people, but I don't know. That was a super long rant.
All right, so we're gonna run into Whole Foods, grab a couple of things, go home, make some dinner, and then kind of walk you through.
I farted. Holy.
Help! Help!
Oh man, I'm hungry.
We're in the car, if you can't tell, and he just trapped me in here.
Yep. Alrighty.
Windows down.
So we'll catch up with you guys when we get to our house. Okay guys, so we wanted to just jump right into it. We wanted to talk about the point of this video. Yeah, so we're talking about what we do when we actually work out. And initially we were gonna make this one giant video, but as we, we're thinking a little bit more, we realized that it has a lot of in-depthness. I'm pretty sure I made that word up, but
In-depthness.
Yeah, in-depthness. So yeah, there's a lot to it that goes into what we actually do in the gym. So in this particular video right here, this is going to be part 1 of a 3-part series, and we're going to talk to you guys specifically about the movements that we do.
In this first part.
Yeah, in the first part, you're right. We categorize our movements into 2 types of movements primarily. We have our main lifts, and then we have our accessory lifts or assistance lifts, whichever you want to call them.
I mean, I feel like all of these 3 things really fit together and are essential to one another.
We're going to talk about why.
Why we do what we do.
Exactly. And then in the next 2 videos, we're going to cover progressions, and then the one after that, we're going to talk about how nutrition feeds into it as well. Let's just go ahead, we're going to dive deep. So we make sure that we get in 5 different types of movements. So we talked about the 2 categories, but within those categories, there's 5 main types of movements that we see in our training program. These 5 types of movements include a horizontal row, a vertical row, a horizontal push, a vertical push, and then we have a squatting movement. So I noticed that I actually just said those a little bit out of order from what I'm about to show you guys on the screen, but that's okay. So we're actually going to start off first and foremost with our horizontal push. Now there's a couple different ways that you can do this horizontal pushing movement. We choose to bench press for the most part. If you go to a gym where you don't have access to a barbell, machines are great as long as, again, what we'll talk about in the next video, you can progress with the movement over time, and what is called progressive overloading. As long as that can be done, then you're going to make progress and get to the goals that you're trying to achieve, whether that's weight gain, weight loss, or recomposition. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but that's what Kay's going through. So in this clip right here, I'm showing you guys my bench press from the other day. I did 3 sets of 10. This is a percentage of my 1 rep max. I'm benching 245 pounds right here. And basically what I'm trying to focus on, of course, is making sure that I have good form with the movement. But the reason I specifically do a bench press, in terms of bodybuilding, my side hobby, I personally lacked a lot in my chest development during my last show. And so I really want to make sure that I'm improving that going into my next few shows. So I've been pushing very hard recently by being in a surplus with my nutrition, so I'm eating more. And I'm trying to make sure that with that surplus, I'm pushing blood into the areas that I want to grow. So yeah, that's my vertical push. Now the next video we have is Kay. She's doing that was my horizontal push. Next video is Kay.
So in this movement, I am doing a dumbbell shoulder press. And for this, I did 4 sets of 8 at 20 pounds. This is a decent weight for me to do 4 sets of 8. I have really made a lot of progress. Shoulders for me, just like Brandon said, he's trying to grow his chest. For me too, something that I'm trying to grow, and it's been a long time coming, is my shoulders. And again, kind of like Brandon mentioned, I'm really looking to do more of a recomposition with my body. So not necessarily gaining weight or losing weight, just kind of, recomping things a little bit.
Yeah, so we're actually going to go ahead and move on to the next movement. We have Kay again. She's now doing her vertical pull, and she's doing pull-ups. Do you want to talk to them a little bit more about why specifically pull-ups are one of your main lifts?
Yeah, absolutely. So pull-ups for me have been a love-hate, but I've really come to love them. And I've come a long way. Before, I was doing I feel like 70, 80 pounds assisted, and now I can do them either 20 pounds assisted or on my own, which is great.
Yeah, that was crazy. You did them on your own the other day.
Yeah. I know. It was great. For me, this is a great movement to really target a lot of my upper body, upper back. Developing my back is something that I'm really looking to do as well, just kind of recomping that area.
Under the bra strap line.
Yeah, that's a great area. I know ladies, especially with kind of the trends that are going on right now, a lot of those open back shirts, things like that, that is a great movement to target your lats like right above where your bra line sits.
Wanted to throw in something with that really quickly. When we talk about doing certain movements in either a recomp phase or in a weight loss phase, you're not necessarily looking to spot reduce, which sorry folks, if you don't know, I'm gonna burst your bubble, but you can't really spot reduce. We all lose weight in whatever way we lose it. I know personally, especially when I was getting ready for my bodybuilding show, I literally lost weight every single spot on my body except for my legs. Like my quads and my hamstrings took the longest to get lean, and that's just inevitable. Some people, they carry more fat in their midsection, and then again, it's the last place that they lose weight. So
I feel like a lot of that has to do with genetics too. You know, just
Yeah.
kind of how you're genetically built
Yep.
will determine where your body just hangs onto fat.
Yeah, and again, so the main reason that Kay is targeting her lats with that vertical pull is to try to hopefully not only keep muscle around, but in a recomp, maybe build a little bit more muscle mass in that area too. And then by doing that, having her muscle push closer and closer to her skin, it's going to give more of the appearance of her being even leaner. And so, yeah. All right, we're going to go ahead. We're going to go into the next movement. Here we have me doing a horizontal row. There are many types of horizontal rows. Right now, I have made a pen lay row, which is another word for, or another phrase, I guess, for a barbell row. One of my main movements, okay? So I'm doing another 3 sets of 10, and this movement is a little bit tougher for me. It puts a lot of stress on my lower back. That's actually something that I know that I need to develop as well. I have an okay lower back, but my hamstrings, my glutes, and my lower back, they all tie in together. Could just use a little bit more overall work. So the stability that I'm getting with the pen lay row is going to target that. My lats and then I say my lower traps are two muscle groups that are decently developed on me. Genetically, I tend to favor those areas, but I want to also make sure that I'm keeping them at a decent level while I try to increase the areas that I would like to grow. So it's kind of funny how weightlifting is a little backwards. I was talking about this the other day. It's interesting that we can't necessarily spot reduce when in a deficit or necessarily like a recomp, but you can more so encourage muscle mass to be built in a certain area by making sure your nutrition's in line and making sure you're getting frequency and volume in that area. And I guess in a recomp, that's what you're essentially doing too. It's more or less a bulk without a bulk. So,
And I think that that's a perfect transition to my next movement that I am doing here. So this is a barbell squat.
Yep.
And this is a perfect example of not necessarily, spot reducing or spot targeting, because I'm not reducing, I'm kind of gaining in that area.
Yeah.
But a lot of that has been because after our wedding, we really just kind of ramped my food up, and it's gone up like an additional 700 calories from the wedding until now. So that's kind of a big jump for me. I'm pretty small as it comes already, so it's kind of a big jump to gradually have increased that much over time.
And the best part too is your weight gain has not been exponential.
No.
So
It's been very minimal.
Yeah, it's been very, very minimal.
So also too with my squat, over the past couple months, I would say, we really just took a step back, reevaluated form because I was having a lot of lower back pain whenever I would squat. And now I really, especially with increasing that nutrition, I am really seeing a lot of booty gains.
Yeah. So her form is almost, and again, we'll talk about this in the next clip with the progressive overload, but improving your form is a form of overloading a movement, because if you're able to move with that movement well, you can load it more efficiently over time. So, alrighty, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna jump into our last movement that we have right here. This is actually me doing a Bulgarian split squat is the technical name of this, but it's a form of a lunge. And this is more of an assisted movement or an accessory movement, whichever you want to call it. So I do a lot of these lunges or split squats in order to help with my quad growth and my hamstring, glute growth. It's going to target a little hamstring work too. But this is something where I'm actually looking to improve on this movement to ultimately improve on my squat. Essentially, lunging, it's a form of a squat. It's kind of more or less a single-legged squat with the support of the back leg. My squat is going to be kind of my big driver for growing my quads over time, developing my legs as I'm in this surplus. And then my lunge is going to, again, assist my squat to become heavier and heavier and progressively being able to overload it. Another part of the body that I really needed to work on post my last show was my leg development. Not my leg, it's not one of my legs, it's both of my legs.
One leg.
Yeah, just my one leg just needed development. The left one, the right one's completely fine, but yeah. This one, again, is something that is a little unorthodox for me to do, but it's been paying off a lot. We want to kind of keep it short and sweet, just show you guys the different movements that we do in the gym, reasons why, now you guys understand. Okay, again, trying to recomp myself, I'm in a surplus. We're going to talk more in depth about nutrition and how it all factors in the third series of this. But if you're looking for, just workouts to do in the gym, if you're going into the gym and you're like, hey, I'm flat out confused, these should kind of give you an idea of how to kind of section the body. Upper body, you're either pushing or pulling. Your lower body, you're doing some form of squatting. And I guess technically you're pulling with your lower body too, because you can be pushing with the squat, pulling with something like a deadlift or a hamstring curl.
And again, these are all just examples of those types of categories that we were talking about. So that horizontal push, horizontal pull, all those things, vertical pull,
squats,
vertical push, squats.
Yep.
So really just being able to kind of chunk things out and section them out that way,
right.
To help you be more efficient.
Yes.
And kind of achieve those goals that you're looking for in the gym.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say, because this is going to tie into our next video, again, it's all about progressions with these movements. If you feel like you're a person that goes to the gym and you're like, okay, I've done some of these before, but I've never really seen the dramatic, composition changes that you're speaking of.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not overloading the movement, if you're not adding to it over time in a planned out fashion, you're probably not going to see those things. Last thing I'll say about that is the worst possible thing in the world would be to either be trying to gain weight, trying to lose weight, or ultimately change your composition and see no results.
Yeah.
I talk about this all the time with our clients that are losing weight. It's cool to make sure that the number on the scale is going down, but if you see no changes in your body, you can lose 15 pounds, look the exact same, and you're probably not going to be very happy.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, if you're gaining weight and you just gain weight without doing it slowly, you might just gain more fat mass than you're looking to gain. And recomping, pretty much impossible without, making sure your nutrition's on point. So
yeah, and so like Brandon mentioned, the number on the scale, yeah, that's cool. It's cool to see it, go up or down with whatever you're trying to do, but that's not always the main focus, or it shouldn't always be the main focus. It's simply a data point used to help you achieve that goal. Yeah. Something that we do with ourselves and all of our clients is progress pictures. So taking them once a week, same time of day, so then you are able to really see those changes over time. It makes such a big difference.
Yeah, progress pictures, and you're speaking proverbs right now. Weight training proverbs, fitness proverbs. So anyways, thank you guys again for tuning into our video. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel, and we're going to keep going with this series. Next video will be out a week from today. We're pushing ourselves to make sure that we're doing it. Saturdays are our groove. We're going to even try and speed it up a little bit more over time, so hopefully we can get it into you guys, maybe even 2 videos in a week. But thanks again, like and subscribe, and stay tuned.
Stay tuned.